Welcome back. Well, the Nigerian government says it's planning to increase the tax ratio to GDP to 15% from 8%. That's 2022. Federal government has introduced new fiscal policy measures for 2023 in a circular. Some have tagged it President Buhari's parting gift, to Nigerians. Well, joining me now is Mr. Akin Oyediro, Managing Director, Jubilee Syringe, joining me right here in the studio. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so it's been tagged the President Buhari's parting gifts, and
Correct.
Definitely, I'm sure you manufacturers already pay a lot of taxes.
Correct.
Right now. Can you paint a picture of what those taxes are currently?
We pay our taxes. It's pretty high. And for a country that is trying to use manufacturing to increase its employment is really not encouraging. However, if the taxes are not even... if the taxes are used to increase the infrastructure, then it would be a good thing. Currently, right now, what we have is we have very poor infrastructure. We have, of course, everybody has the situation with the dollar rates. Everybody knows the situation with unemployment and all that stuff. So the tax increase is going to be a little bit of a higher burden to us. However, if those taxes are used to increase or improve the infrastructure, then in the long run, it will work for us.
So that means you don't have a problem with, taxes going up, right?
Nobody has a problem.
More taxes.
Nobody has a problem with paying taxes as long as you have a level playing field where you can actually generate revenue and make profit. The problem is when you're paying taxes and also squeezing into your ability to make profit. That is where problems happen. So if the taxes are increased, however, we have a situation where we are able to get better infrastructure and better incentives for the government to increase production, sell, and also better better foreign exchange, then nobody cares about paying taxes when you're making money. It's when you're not making money that you worry about taxes.
Right, and I know you're in the pharma industry.
Correct, medical device.
I go into, a pharmacy, I buy something at a particular price today, tomorrow, it's sky high again, more increase, and it's becoming a consistent pattern right now. We've been battling inflation, since 2022 globally, but this one seems a little too much. What's going on in that industry? Well,
what's going on in the industry is that one is a very highly technical industry. Two, a lot of even our raw materials are based on imports, so the effect of the dollar affects our prices. And three is just to recoup from research and investment. To recoup from research is you just have to amortize it over a period of years and continue to recoup from that investment. So the investments are high. At the same time, you have high inflation. At the same time, you have high interest rates. At the same time, you have dollar rates that are off the roof. So those are the factors that lead into the high prices. Actually, when you compare the price of medical devices and even some medications here in Nigeria, is actually cheaper to buy here than to buy in some parts of Europe, West Africa, and the United States, actually.
And talking about that, we did talk about, prices and, a preference to buy things internationally than here, because those ones seem to be more affordable for, and talking about quality. Well, there's more quality, there's that perception that, you get more quality stuff when you buy it outside the country.
Yeah, there's a perception and there's some truth to that. However, in our case, as Jubilee Syringe, what we've done is we've opened up, about 5 years ago, we started up our own manufacturing company to manufacture syringes. And we've invested very heavily in making sure that we produce very high quality syringes. As a matter of fact, our syringes are the best in the marketplace right now. And, to the glory of God, of course, it's very acceptable in the market and we're selling very well. As a matter of fact, companies or different parts of the world are actually asking to import our syringes. We're already shipping to some other parts of West Africa, and we're competing very well in those areas. However, what we just need to do now is just to get people to realize that because it's made in Nigeria doesn't mean it's inferior. Yes, there are some made in Nigeria inferior products. However, look, I'm very involved with MAN, the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, and one of the biggest parts of MAN is to try to ensure that its manufacturers are actually producing good quality products. And it only just makes sense. If you're producing good quality products in the marketplace where people are not, you will also dominate the market, which is why Jubilee is doing so well in the syringe manufacturing industry.
And definitely, if you're trying to, export goods at this time, you definitely have to make sure quality, is on point. If not, the outside markets will not,
Quality is job one.
accept it. And looking at the AFCFTA a trade deal at this time, what are you guys doing to make sure that we can actually, benefit from this trade deal?
Well, we jumped all over it. It's a good thing for us, as the trade agreement is a really good thing for us at Jubilee. Because right now we're piggybacking on it to export to the rest of West Africa. It makes it easier and better for us to compete with our competition, which is from Europe and China. Now, we have good quality products. We are putting them into the marketplace and people are buying them. However, if you want to compete with us from China or you want to compete with us from Europe, then guess what? You will now have to pay the tariffs. You will have to pay the transportation costs from Europe or China to compete in my marketplace, which is West Africa. So for the very first time in the history of business in the world, it pays to manufacture in Nigeria and sell to the African market because of this whole agreement. It is an exciting time. It is great for us because it allows us to do the things that we always knew that we could do. Now, what we are just looking at is for government to continue to support that agreement by providing infrastructure and let private industry take over.
And talking about the government at this time, we have an incoming government.
Correct.
What would you like to see? First 100 days that is going to benefit manufacturers.
First 100 days, what we'd like to see is a commitment to developing the infrastructure, working on something that interest rates and Forex will not happen overnight, but we just want to see policies and direction that would make it work. We don't need to see the Naira gain value on day 3, but we want to see policies that will help us to get there. And based on the experience we've seen in Lagos, I think we're on the right track with that, actually.
And what do you see? Definitely, it's been a tough first quarter for businesses and industries right here in Nigeria, and definitely we've started to see that there's now cash available at this time. What are you seeing for second quarter? Because I know first quarter was quite tough.
First quarter was quite tough, and it allowed us to really start to innovate and think. And one of the things that has come out of that first quarter quagmire, if I can call it, is that we realized that, look, if we want to really do well in our business, especially in our manufacturing industry, we need to export. So companies are going out there looking for ways to export into the African and West African market. So that's one. As far as making sure that what are the things that we want to see in the second quarter coming up, we see a transition into a second quarter. Cash is beginning to become available. We're all looking forward to the installation of the new government because we're going to see the policies come out. So I think it's an exciting time. I think we've gone through the worst. I really think we've gone through the worst, and it's allowed us to think and innovate. When you go through certain things, you go out, sit down, think, innovate, and then come back to the market.
I guess what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I guess.
Well, what doesn't kill you makes you get out there and think.
Okay, that's another one.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akin-Oyediran, the MD Jubilee Syringe, and I definitely hope the manufacturing sector gets it easier, going forward in 2023.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty.